These are the top 5 Golgari commanders in the history of Magic the Gathering. Black plus green equals all kinds of fun creature graveyard shenanigans stuff. Let's hit our top 5 with a couple quick honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, we're gonna go Badros Witherbloom. Badros Witherbloom is a 7-mana 4/4 flying legendary creature Elder Dragon. It's one of the Strixhaven Elder Dragons. Flying, at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. And then you can pay 10 life to untap all lands you control, activate this ability only once each turn. It's a very cool commander, definitely underrated. You know, 7 mana is expensive, but when I've played against this card, I'm always impressed by how good it is. Underrated for sure, not quite top 5. Number 2 on the list, we've got Laeral, Blade of the Elves. It's black, green, 2. For a 2/3 legendary creature elf noble with menace, whenever Laeral, Blade of the Elves deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens, then you can tap it and tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life and you gain 10 life. This is currently the single most popular Golgari commander on EDH Rec. It's number 1. But as you guys know, I always make these top 5s based on more than just one factor. It's based on historical significance, raw power, and multi-format relevance. And while Laeral is the most popular green-black commander, it's not the most powerful. It's also not the most powerful legendary black and green creature, which is ultimately what this list is really about. Let's get to our third honorable mention. Honorable mention number 3, we've got Fang, Squirrel General. 2 colorless for a 3/3 legendary creature Squirrel Warrior with Force Walk. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens are created instead. Then for black, sacrifice X squirrels. Target creature gets +X, -X until end of turn. This card just got a major boost because of Bloomburrow, because of the focus on squirrels. And this card is just generally really good. It's a Horizons card, which generally means the power is pushed. I was kind of wrestling over which was better, this or the number 5 spot. In the end, I gave it just a slight edge over this one because it's been better in more formats than just Commander, but this is really good. Okay, let's get to our top 5. Remember, as you've noticed, this is color identity, not just casting cost, which is how Fang makes it. Okay, number 5. At number 5, we've got the original, the Gitrog Monster. A beefy Golgari creature for 3 black green. You get a 6/6 legendary creature, Frog Horror with Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the Gitrog Monster unless you sacrifice a land. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever 1 or more lands are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. This card is so pushed. I've seen people play this in Commander. I've seen people play this as a finisher in Jund. If you ever crack a fetch land, you just draw a card. If you combine this with any kind of like Crucible effect, it just gets so out of hand so fast in power formats. I've always hated playing against this card in all of the lands-based Jund decks and Highlander Gauntlet. It's just very good. The Gitrog Monster is a very good card. It's going to come in number 5 for us on the all-time list. Coming in at number 4, we've got Grist, the Hunger Tide. This one's kind of weird because it doesn't appear to be a creature when you look at it than it is if you read the card. For colorless black-green, you get a legendary Planeswalker Grist. As long as Grist, the Hunger Tide, isn't on the battlefield, it's a 1/1 insect creature in addition to its other types. So it is actually a creature. Has 3 loyalty, +1, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill a card. If an insect card was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat this process. -2, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. And -5, each opponent loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Grist pretty much sees play in every single format that it's legal, right? It's played in Modern, it's played in Legacy, it's played in Commander, it's played in CDH. We played in Highlander Gauntlet, people played in Canlander. It's really the -2 ability that makes this card so good, so consistently. You're almost always going to have a creature, and at 3 mana, minusing to sack that creature to destroy something is usually going to have some kind of a target and be very good. But the other abilities are also quite good. Remember, Grist can be your commander because technically Grist is a creature. But Grist cannot sacrifice Grist to destroy a creature because Grist is no longer a creature because it's now on the battlefield. Interesting design, really unique card. It's going to come in number 4 for us. Number 3, we've got Marin of Clan Neltoth. Marin is 2 black-green for a 3/4 legendary creature, human shaman. Whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. We're in the world of experience counters now, guys. At the beginning of your end step, choose target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Marin has been a distinctly relevant commander for quite a long time. This card really is only played as a commander, whereas like Grist is definitely not something that we're focusing on as a commander as much. But Marin is a CDH card. Marin's a very played commander. It's an extremely relevant Magic card and a very powerful one. It's a little confusing. It takes a second to kind of wrap your head around, but just the recursion ability of, be able to like sack things to get more counters and get everything back. It's just inevitability. Really good Magic card. Number 3 for us. Coming in number 2, we've got that weird conundrum of partner commanders. I personally love this card. Rayon, Last of the Abzan, is 1 black-green. It's a 0/0 human warrior, but it comes into play with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a creature you control dies or is put into the command zone, if it had 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on target creature. It has partner. So notice it says you may put that many counters on that creature when this creature dies or goes to the command zone, right? It's not about Rayon's counters. It's the same number of counters, which means like with the Ozolith, you get double triggers. Rayon's a really really cool card that I play in multiple iterations and multiple decks I've tried building for CDH, and it just has a malleable ability that works very, very well with a lot of other Magic cards, so I think Rayhan's really, really good. Obviously, as we've said before, it's half of a partner commander. You're never really going to play Rayhan just on their own. Why would you? It's not necessary. But we'll call a spade here. This is a black-green legendary creature, so Rayhan's going to be number 2 for us. Do you guys know number 1? Pause this video, comment below if you think you know what number 1's going to be. All right, let's hit it. Number 1 on this list, you got Gacked. Hogak, Arisen Necropolis, comes in number 1 on our black-green legendary creatures list. There's several reasons why we'll explain. Hogak is 5 black-green hybrid legendary creature avatar. You can't spend mana to cast this spell. It's an 8/8 trample creature, has Convoke and Delve. You may cast Hogak Arisen Necropolis from your graveyard. Delve is one of the 5 most powerful keywords of all time. It's on this card. Convoke is a really powerful keyword. It's on this card. We got a short period of time with this being legal in Modern before it was just the pants were banned off of it. It had other cards get banned around it before it got banned. It's absurd. It's so powerful for 1v1. And if it was to be legal again today, people have tried the whole no ban list Modern thing, and this card would be on par with some of the other stuff we've seen. It's probably not quite Nadu level, which is I think why Nadu's gonna get banned very soon, but Hogak is quite that good. It's like really almost there with Nadu. And so, even though I don't think people actually will play Hogak as a commander, I've never actually played against Hogak as a commander. It's not like really designed for commander. I'm still going to put this as the number 1 black-green legendary creature of all time because I just think the power level here and the historical precedent is so high. It's going to be number 1 for us. Leave your comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.